Self-improvement, my bread, my butter, the whimsical love of my life and my calling. Why are you tiring people? Why are people sick of hearing about you? Self-improvement is one of the most empowering things people can pursue. It's the process of learning, healing, and evolving into someone more aligned with purpose and potential. It's what helps people break cycles, gain confidence, and create lives that feel intentional. I'm not biased at all, by the way. But somewhere along the way, the pursuit of becoming better can quietly transform into a relentless chase, one that leaves people feeling more drained than fulfilled. The same tools meant to bring peace start to create pressure. The same habits meant to build confidence start to feed self-doubt. Growth, when taken too far, can become another form of self-criticism. This video is about what happens when the desire to evolve turns into the belief that who you are right now is never enough, that you're never doing enough, that the bar keeps getting higher and higher, and you just never seem to get settled, and you're finding yourself feeling burnt out. It starts innocently. A new book, a podcast, a morning routine. The excitement of progress feels good, but then the checklist grows. Meditate, journal, cold plunge, read, optimize, track, repeat. Soon, life starts to feel like a never-ending renovation project. Every quiet moment becomes an opportunity to improve or to throw yourself into productivity. Every flaw becomes a problem to solve. The irony? The more people chase perfection, the further they drift from peace. Your life isn't an endless project that needs to be improved. You're not broken, you're human. You don't need to constantly upgrade yourself like an iPhone. You need to understand yourself. And when you approach growth from a place of shame or inadequacy, it becomes punishment, not progress. You start chasing improvement as a way to earn your worth. But worth isn't something you earn. You already have it. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Ask, what do I need right now? Maybe you don't need another productivity hack. Perhaps you need rest. Maybe you don't need another goal. You need to reconnect with why you started in the first place. Self-improvement should come from a place of compassion, not self-criticism. Because when you understand yourself, you stop trying to fix everything and start nurturing what's already good. What I'm saying is, the more you see your behaviors and habits as self-improvement projects, the worse your experience of life will actually be. Efficiency and extreme productivity leave little room for you as a person to exist within it. Where do your personal desires fit into a completely scheduled day from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.? Everything doesn't need to be optimized, and your wellness pursuits don't need to dominate your life. You can and should strike a beautiful balance between healthy, productive routines and fun. You see people online waking up at 5 a.m., running marathons, and building businesses, and it makes you think, I should be doing more. But growth isn't a competition, it's a personal evolution. When you start comparing your progress to someone else's, you lose sight of your own journey. You start chasing someone else's version of success instead of defining what that means for yourself. Do you actually want the life that other person is leading? The more you feel like you're competing, the less authentic your own journey becomes. And a lack of authenticity results in exhaustion. This is true for almost everything. It becomes harder and more tiresome to keep the face on that you're projecting to the world, the one that isn't a true representation of yourself. Truth is, there is no finish line. There is no gold medal for most improved person. Turn growth into a scoreboard. You disconnect from the real purpose of self-improvement to feel more aligned, more grounded, and more you. Ask yourself, am I improving because I want to grow or because I'm afraid of falling behind? Because if your motivation is fear, you'll never feel truly satisfied. There will always be somebody doing more, achieving faster, or looking happier. Real growth happens when you stop competing and start connecting with yourself, your values, and your own pace. If your self-improvement pursuits are exhausting you, have you considered that maybe you're trying to do too much at once? In my coaching, I never encourage clients to take on more than 1 or 2 goals at a time, because you can't approach 5 new habits sustainably and realistically. It's just not going to happen. You don't need a 20-step morning routine, 5 journaling sessions, and 3 new habits every week. That's not growth. That's overwhelm disguised as discipline. The self-improvement industry often sells you the idea that more is better. More habits, more structure, more hustle. But more doesn't mean better. It means burnout. It means unrealistic expectations. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't grow from a place of exhaustion. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do what matters. Pick one thing. Do one thing that actually moves the needle. Maybe it's getting consistent sleep. Maybe it's setting better boundaries. Maybe it's saying no. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Small, sustainable changes create real transformation. Big, unsustainable ones create guilt, fatigue, and disappointment. And if you push things too far and are in need for some self-care, I will pin an article on easy, realistic self-care practices that you can start implementing today. It'll be in the comments. You're exhausted because you're chasing a version of better that never comes to fruition. The more you improve, the more you still feel like you're not good enough. You hit one goal, then you move the finish line. You achieve something you once dreamed of, and then your next thought is, great, what's next? That's because self-improvement without self-acceptance is a treadmill. You're running hard, but you never arrive anywhere. You never stop to smell the roses, so there are no roses. Better keeps moving. Once one milestone is reached, another one appears. The body that once felt strong now needs to be leaner. The career that once felt fulfilling now needs to be more impressive. It's a cycle that never ends because better isn't a destination. It's a horizon that keeps shifting as you move towards it. What started as a healthy desire to grow becomes an exhausting pursuit of an ideal that doesn't exist. You're not chasing progress anymore. You're chasing relief. Relief from that feeling that you're still not good enough. Growth isn't supposed to feel like punishment. It's not about constantly reaching for the better and next version of yourself. It's about learning to appreciate the one that's here now, even as you evolve. Sometimes the most powerful form of self-improvement is to stop improving and start experiencing. You don't need to turn every moment into a lesson and your hobbies into a side hustle. Go outside, laugh with your friends. Do something just because it feels good, not because it's productive. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to exist. You're allowed to be content. You're allowed to exist without constantly optimizing yourself. Because life isn't a project, it's an experience. And if you spend all your time trying to be your best self, you're missing out on just being yourself. My personal approach is to only think about what I want to improve about 20 to 30% of the time. This is an approach that works really well for me and still allows me to lean into really enjoying my life. That means 20 to 30% of my day I'm actively working on improving my habits and behaviors, and the rest of the time, I'm just me. I'm just existing. I'm just living. This balance is perfect for me, and perhaps some version of this might work for you too. Another reason is you might be consuming far more than you're applying. You can read every book, listen to every podcast, and watch every motivational video, but if you never apply what you learn, it just becomes mental clutter. Information without action creates anxiety. You start to feel like you never have enough information, always missing something, always one more course away from being ready. But growth doesn't happen from knowing, it comes from doing. You don't need more information, you need more integration. Take one idea and live it. Practice it. Let it become part of who you are. Because wisdom isn't what you know, it's what you embody. I'm not saying you should stop consuming self-development content. What I'm saying is you might just be consuming too much of it or too frequently. You're experiencing information overload and you're stuck because you don't know where to start. Beyond that, you're exhausted because you're hearing similar ideas and realize you don't have it in you to try them all at the same time. The lesson is, don't mindlessly consume content. Take a break in between self-help books. Introduce a variety into the type of content you consume. Be intentional about what value you're trying to receive from the content that you're consuming. Speaking of consuming content, I would love if you consumed more of mine. Would you please support this channel by liking this video and subscribing? It would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to me if you did, and I promise to create and deliver more content like this to support you on your journey. Not every season is meant for growth. Some seasons are meant for rest, some for reflection or healing. But the self-improvement mindset often tells you that if you're not progressing, you're falling behind. And that's just not true. Just like nature, you have seasons, times to plant, times to grow, times to harvest, and times to be still. I absolutely do think that there is space in life for lengthy breaks from self-improvement goals, because honestly, it is really exhausting to constantly chase improvement. And that's exactly it. You're chasing. You're not even doing anymore. You're just chasing. Breaks are an excellent time for reflection and to figure out if the path that you're on still serves you, or if you might need some more time to realign. If you try to force growth in a season of rest, you'll burn out. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is pause, because rest isn't the opposite of growth, it is part of it. And I've said this before, breaks are an investment in your productivity and creativity, so embrace it. Embrace the stillness if you feel called to it. It'll re-energize you and prepare you for what's to come. Sometimes the most radical form of self-improvement is to stop striving and start being. It's realizing that you don't need to earn your worth through constant effort. You don't need to prove your value by how much you achieve. You don't need to fix every flaw before you're allowed to feel proud of who you are. You can grow and still rest. You can strive and still be content. You can want more and still love where you are. Self-development should be a journey back to wholeness, not a chase for perfection, because the goal isn't to become someone else, the goal is to become fully yourself. The point of all this work isn't to fix your life, it's to live your life. Because the most powerful version of self-improvement isn't about becoming more, it's about remembering that you were already enough. So slow down, breathe. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming. That's real peace. And that's real talk.